Hi, and welcome to the Spiritist Society of Melbourne. My name is Thiago Comitri, and I'm a volunteer with this group. Tonight, I'm going to share my understanding to the topic Unveiling Mysteries. I'm a student of this philosophy, and what I will expose is my understanding of the topic on the lens of Spiritism. It might differ from other members of this group, as well from other students of this philosophy, as it's aligned with my current knowledge of the subject. Since long time ago, there are some cultural and intellectual men who consider themselves perfect and savant, needing nothing but instruction. Also, proud of their many prize, they believe to be superior and better than others. However, by doing so, they close their souls to the inspiration and intuition from the spiritual realm. My presentation tonight will be based on this book, Changing Attitudes, written by Francisco do Espírito Santo Neto and dictated by a spirit named Hamed, and based on the Spirit's book as well, which contains the principles of the Spiritism according to the teachings of the spirits of high degree, transmitted through many mediums around the world, then received, coordinated, and compiled, codified by Allan Kardec. Also, according to Spiritism, which contains the explanation of the moral maxims of Christ in concordance with Spiritism and their applications to the different circumstances of life. So, Spiritism, this spiritualist philosophy, says that we are individuals with the main objective of progressing spiritually towards perfection, and at the same time being co-creators. Let's explore a little bit this sentence here. It's saying about individuality. So it says that we are a spirit or soul that was created to progress towards perfection. But how can we progress? We progress through existences, corporeal existence, which is our existent life. We as a spirit inhabiting the spiritual world, which is a different dimension and which is everywhere, out there in the universe, which is infinite. So these spirits inhabit and populate the entire universe. There is no void. We as a spirit as well, we come to corporeal worlds like the earth, have an existence in this corporeal life, in this body, inhabiting this body, using it as an instrument to experience all the vicissitudes, hardships of life, put in practice, let's say, what we have learned and what we discuss in the spiritual life, and also to prove ourselves, trying to understand who we are, to improve, and one day reach perfection. So reincarnation, which is a very old concept, was not created by Spiritism, but I usually say that it was very well explained with Spiritism. So it helps me to open my mind to see a big picture, and then all this concept of progression and evolution towards perfection makes sense to me. So we are not who we think we are. We are a product of many existences. It continues saying, at the same time being co-creator. How can we be co-creator? So if you see around us and all the creation, everything that is not done by the man or the human, must be created by something else. So to collaborate with this creation, being co-creator, we can do that through these existences, helping others to evolve as well. Because as us, everyone is in the same boat. Let's say everyone is is having an existence to try their best to evolve. So helping them, and throughout the existence we have, we can create things and can develop things, helping others and creating a better world and developing ourselves for something bigger. With this context in mind, and going back to the main topic about unveiling mysteries, we will proceed and have a better understand about what I'll be presenting. So if in one hand we have those proud ones, proud people, on the other hand, the small and simple ones are those who disclose new ideas and concepts, go after new discoveries and all sorts of research, selecting productive ones for their own mental world. Due to their conditions and situations, they have to be flexible enough to go through their lives, right? Since they are not orthodox or extremely conservative, but found on constant reflection on eternal laws and rational faith, they gather better conditions to observe life with open eyes. I got this from the book, so Hamed says this. And there are two topics here, eternal laws and rational faith, that I would like to explore a little bit more for us to understand what it's saying here. So far we are understanding about those who are proud, who are feel superior, right? And those who are small and simple, that observe life with open eyes. Why? Let's say what it says about eternal laws. God, for us, the spiritists who study this philosophy, understand God as the supreme intelligence, the first cause of all things. This make a huge difference. And this philosophy says that God has some attributes that helps us, the main ones that help us to try to understand what is God. And some of those attributes, at least the main ones, are that this supreme intelligence is eternal, immutable, immaterial, one, all powerful, supremely just and good. So, eternal. Why eternal? If God had had the beginning, then either God would have had to have sprung from nothing, or would have had to have been created by a being that existed previously. Reasoning in this way, we arrive little by little at the idea of eternity and the infinite. So, the supreme intelligence or God is immutable. If God were subject to change, then the laws that govern the universe would have no stability. God is immaterial. This means that God's nature differs from everything we call matter. Otherwise, God would not be immutable, but would be subject to the transformations of matter. And God is one. If there were several gods, then there would be no unity of design of or power in the organization of the universe. God is all powerful because God is one. If God were not powerful above all else, it would mean that there was something more powerful, or at least as powerful. It would mean that God might not have created all things, and those that God didn't create would have had to have been the work of some other God. And to finalize, God is supremely just and good. The providential wisdom in the divine laws is revealed in the smallest things as well as in the largest. And this wisdom makes it impossible for us to doubt either God's justice or goodness. So let's think of those eternal laws based on this God that just described to you and with all those attributes. It can help us to expand our mind, or at least to have a different perspective about this thing, which is God, and which I don't understand entirely, but I try to understand. And based on these attributes, it makes more sense to me. So if you think of what science has discovered, the laws it has discovered, like the gravity and other laws, it was already there, right? Science just discovered and proved that, but it was always there. And what science is still doing is still discovering and finding new laws and other things that nature didn't reveal yet to them, to prove somehow and to show us, for us to understand these things. So science has a very important role for us, for the humanity. But my understanding is that everything is already in place. We just need to discover that. So eternal laws was created by the supreme intelligence, by God, and is always there. Rational faith, the second topic here, is when, just to summarize, is when you believe in something because you understand that thing, and because that makes sense to you, then you deposit your trust and your faith on that. So this is rational faith. You think, you make question, and you find answers for your questions. For everything, anything that you are more rational and you believe and you understand the logic behind that, and naturally you believe, you deposit your trust, it's called rational faith, which is the opposite of blind faith, when you just believe because someone told you to believe. And when you make questions, you cannot question actually. So there is no answer. You don't find answers. But even with that, you will still believe. So this is blind faith. That's the difference here. When it says that the small and simple ones are found on constant reflection on these eternal laws and rational faith. They gather better conditions to observe life with open eyes. They have a different perspective of life. Unveiling mysteries on that way. Imagine you have some challenges on your life, as we are going through at the moment with this. I don't know when you are watching this video, but we are in 2020, and the coronavirus has transformed the life of many people. Many people are just thinking of life and trying to find answers that they haven't even thought before. and they are in this moment of discovering new things. So Hamed continues, these men are known for their evolutionary maturity, which is evaluated taking into account their behavior in all achievement level and in the various fields of human existence, which is physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual. How are you progressing in these fields? Self-awareness. Getting to know ourselves is the key to accept how we are and also to identify points that we can improve. This will help us to face our problems and difficulties in life with peace and serenity. Within those fields, physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual, we are neither superior nor inferior to anyone else. We even don't know about ourselves. As soon as we start going inside ourselves to discover who we are, to understand actually who we are, accepting, I'm so proud. I know that I'm very selfish. If you understand this seriously and you accept that you are like that, things start to transform naturally simply because your mind has accepted that you are like that, and your ego will not fight against this for you to discover or to perceive that you already accepted, and then transformation will start happening, and self-awareness will start to happen. So we should make use of logic and good sense that come from heart. Listen to our inner voice instead of being into extravagant methods, supposedly scientific, living on strict analysis criteria. Let's seize the life, day by day, following our heart instead of scientific methods. Some people just see everything with their technical eyes because we have our profession, and because of that we are addicted, and that's natural. That's natural. So like my brother, which is civil engineer, everywhere where he is looking around because of his technical eyes, and he is looking and analyzing things, and unconsciously we do that with our lives as well. We see everything with these technical eyes, trying to see logic, but we are becoming far from our sentiments and emotions and not listening to our inner voice, which helps us and drive us to the right direction, which is, as I said in the beginning, we are spirit, or our souls was created to reach perfection. This existence is just a step in our evolution. So how are we going through it? And are we progressing? You think we are progressing? What are we doing? Let's listen to our hearts. That's a kind of a channel with this spiritual helm. Hamed continues in his book and says, the small and simple, are the ones who don't hide megalomaniac personality behind golden tables and don't hang apartments for public demonstration of their ego. And Thomas Merton just summarized that in pride makes us artificial and humility makes us real. The previous ones the proud people, those who are mind controller, who perform social tasks using different masks to suit the most convenient situations, are all around us. Since they have closed their souls to the spiritual realm, they can't listen to the unison vibrations that come from up above over earth souls. So everyone has this channel of intuition or receiving intuitions and sometimes a kind of communication from up above. And because sometimes we become so material, only thinking on this unique existence, as many people believe that there is only this life, and after that there is nothing. I respect that as how they think, but this philosophy just gives us opportunity to have a different perspective and having access with ourselves and perceiving these these vibrations that come up from up above could help us throughout this existence to progress little by little. People who think they are superior to others can't stand the slightest criticism, even when it's constructive. They don't analyze the criticism to evaluate whether it is true or not. Because they consider themselves owners of the truth, they react and get angry, thus forgetting that these remarks could provide them better reflections and mind broadening, in some case, awareness. So, however, they prejudice against social classes, races, religion, and many other things, keeping rooted to egoism. Egoism. Not open to making new friends. That's natural for them. When you have this thinking of superiority, it's hard. It's hard to break free of this feeling and um, this mindset, let's say, because you feel, as it says, the owners of the truth, and it's hard to approach people. We need to be open to the inspiration and intuition from the spiritual realm to think more clearly and then unveil the mysteries of love and spiritual truth. When we accept ourselves and we start to understand that we can only transform ourselves, that will help us to change our attitudes. And with that, we can also contribute with people that is surrounding us um, to change as well, because that's an effect that people see the transformation and start changing as well naturally. But for that, we need to see inside us. When you do kind of meditations and you have this contact with ourselves and we leave the world, let's say, we leave the world for a moment and concentrate to ourselves and we open our minds to receive the good inspirations from up above, we start understanding other things and seeing with different eyes. As it said in the beginning, open eyes. We have a different perspective of life. So, finalize, I just got this text from the book that Hamed just summarized everything to us. Simple are the spontaneous ones, because they have abandoned hypocrisy and learned how to put aside the external world when necessary in order to let light streams flow into their internal world. Finally, they are the ones who allow themselves to listen to their internal source of inspiration and trust it heartily. Hamed. So that's what I got for tonight. Lots of teachings from Hamed telling us to be more open to the spiritual realm, to the inspirations from the universe itself. That concept about God, for us the supreme intelligence and first cause of all things, with all those attributes, makes us to understand it a bit different. And the continuity of life because of this progression, and that everyone on earth is doing the same with different trials. Everyone have different trials. So I have problems, someone else also have problems, my friends, my relatives, everyone has their own problems. How can I contribute to help them with their problems? Sometimes I cannot, because it's particular to each one. And that is what will make themselves to evolve. As I'm going through my own trials, my own difficulties and problems, that will make myself stronger for a next life, or even for my spirit or my soul to be a little bit more evolved. So I hope you got the main ideas of this presentation, and thank you for watching.